Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday. It is sunny. Got a lot of stuff done already this morning. Cut my grass for the first time, which I'm a big fan of cutting the grass. I love getting out there, getting in my thoughts. Usually it's about the hobby. Sometimes it's about YouTube and what I'm going to talk about. Wasn't really planning on making a video, but I've been getting a lot of texts and a couple phone calls from a few YouTube buddies that are out at a certain show that will rename nameless because we've all heard this show. We've seen this name of the show and variations of it for the last few months. It's probably going to be another few weeks to talk about it. They're having a blast, and I'm real happy for them. They made some nice pickups. But one of the things I have heard from a couple guys is the pricing is ridiculous. And, I kind of thought that was going to be the case with this show. Most shows are. But I started thinking as I was cutting the grass, pricing has just become ridiculous all over the place. I know other channels have talked about it, and I'm not really I don't like saying too much. I don't want to say the wrong thing or mislead or be judgmental or drama, whatever you want to call it. But I'd like to just show more cards, and I will show some because every video you got to show a few cards. But pricing has become really, really intriguing, to say the least. I don't know when it's going to end because it can't continue. The market is going to correct itself. But I've been hearing reports from some guys I've known in the hobby, some just inside of a year, some for many, many years. And they're all saying the same thing, that a lot of the shows, dealers are buying from other dealers. And it's like they're trading inventory and this and that. They're doing there's a lot of selling from the floor, and that happens a lot. But I'm hearing also that some dealers are borrowing inventory from other dealers so they can sell it on their own, usually with some type of a couple points involved. It's like the hobby mafia. So they're going out and they're borrowing cards for a week, couple days, whatever it is, and they're trying to sell it. And a lot of these guys are younger guys. A lot of these guys are guys that have just entered the hobby, post-pandemic. Like, that's a new term. I've started noticing pricing kind of shifting to different levels 10 years ago. So before 2020 and 2021, but especially after. And then it seemed to kind of correct itself a little bit, but it was still the same certain guys same certain players, not dealers, same players that have just continued to shoot through the moon astronomically. It's insane. So I'm holding off on buying. There's a couple of players I would like to add more of to my collection. I'm just holding off. I don't know how long that's going to be. I'm just not comfortable right now buying bigger dollar cards, because that's another thing too. It's a lot of people are selling smaller items to get bigger stuff. Now, again, you fill in the blanks what you consider small and what you consider big. But I get it. I've done that myself. It's fun. I mean, it can be fun because there are big cards out there. All of a sudden you realize, I could get that if I save a little bit, or if I just sell some other stuff right now. The question is, are you going to sell stuff that you kind of want to get back? Because if you do want to get them back, chances are they're going to go up as well. It's a conundrum, and I don't just feel comfortable right now buying bigger cards. And when I say bigger cards, I'm talking about cards that are 4 figures or higher. and sometimes multiples of four figures, like in the thousands. And my comfort zone has always been for graded cards, a couple $100, give or take. That's my sweet spot. For raw, a couple bucks, up to maybe, 100. I mean, maybe 200, depending if I see them in hand. But I'm getting off on a topic here. Pricing, it just can't keep up. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'd like to hear if others feel the same way. I know some other channels have talked about it a lot, and I didn't really want to, but I figured why not? It's a Saturday. I'm done my lawn, done the weeding, did some edging, watching a little bit of the Masters, and decided just to come down after the last text I got, just to kind of look at some of my cards. So I'm going to show you just a random mix of a couple cards from my favorite decade, and that's the 50s. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and we'll take a look. All right. So I'm going to start. I pulled out a handful. I went to the 50s and just kind of pulled out, I don't even know how many, 7 cards maybe. But I got 51 Bowman Campanella. Everyone needs to see some baseball cards. Great pose. Love that card. Mr. Perfect Game himself in 56, and that's Don Larson. Just a real good card. I like having cards like this, especially from that year. Just kind of cool. This card, I may have shown this before, but I saw this and was blown away. Wasn't necessarily looking for Elston Howard, but look at that card. Just a beauty. And I'm not a big fan of the 58s, but this one just really screamed. It's it's PSA 6, which I don't care about. And normally I probably wouldn't have bought this card raw. I mean, I would have bought this card raw, but it just came up, and just the red, just everything about this card is great. And same with this one. Now, I'm a big fan of, I'm a Phillies guy, and Richie Ashburn, not only a great center fielder, but a great Philadelphian, great announcer, him and Harry. That's the 53 Bowman. What a great card that is. Just, this is such a great set. I'd like to get more of them. And maybe I will. You never know. A very underrated Willie Mays card from his MVP season. You got to love the Say Hey Kid. Look how happy he is. That's just a great, great card. And then 2 of my favorites. I loved this card as a kid. Glad to have it. This is the 1957 Mickey Mantle MVP. And the MVP for the National League, the Hammer, Hank Aaron. Love these cards. Love 57s. It's kind of one of those issues, as historic as it is, with the sizing. Just a great, great card. Great color on these things. Because there are some nuances, especially with Mickey, that don't always come true. It's more of like a greenish tint. And this one certainly has some of it. Because sometimes you can get these Mantle cards and they're just kind of a little bit dull or lacking a little bit of pigment. These do not. But that's all I got for now. Again, don't be concerned about pricing. You buy what you like. You buy what you can afford. You tuck it away and just enjoy the collection. Take care.